Hey, welcome back to the Diamond Crew Sports Podcast, man. Look, the only place where we keep it a stack. No chaser, man. Look, I am your host, Hotta. And if you're an Eagles fan, particularly an Eagles fan, I'm talking to y'all. I know exactly how y'all feeling right now. You're embarrassed. You're frustrated. You're looking at a team that on paper should be world beaters. But on the field, they look like a broken machine. On God, they look so bad. We're talking about the Black Friday disaster, the 24-15 loss to the Chicago Bears that felt like it was a 50-point blowout. This wasn't just a loss. It was an identity crisis played out on national television. Look, man, the Super Bowl honeymoon, it's over. It's officially dead. And the fans made sure this team knew it on the field. Look, today, man, we're breaking down the fallout. The fire Kevin Patullo chants.
51 yards.
Eagles 1 of 8 on third downs.
The offensive scheme that is has zero flow, and why Jalen Hurts' performance was simply unacceptable. Look, man, let's get into it. Look, man, let's start with the atmosphere at the Linc. I haven't seen this in a very long time. Look, the Boo Birds were out in the first quarter. Every 3 and out, every missed opportunity, the crowd got louder and louder. Look, man, I'm not talking about a few scattered boos. This was a statement to the team. We need to make a louder statement. Somebody got to pay for this one. The loudest statement of the day, the fire Kevin chants. They were directed squarely at the offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo. Look, man, the fans are seeing what the coaches seem to be ignoring. The offense is stagnant. It's predictable. It has no fucking rhythm. Look, excuse my language. You can't blame the fans for losing their patience when they seen a team with this much talent look so lost on a football field. Man, this team got me stressed. The fans are the heart of this football team. We know it. Y'all know it. And guess what, man? We are demanding accountability. We're not booing at the fact that this team is 8-3, the 8-3 record. We're booing at the product being displayed on the field. Look, they're booing at the lack of effort, the lack of creativity, and the absolute failure to establish the run game. Are supposed to be bread and butter. Look, the Bears ran at will. They ran a football at will, dominating the line of scrimmage, and we look soft. That's why the fans are so angry. That's not our brand of ball. Look, man, we the Broad Street Bullies for a reason. Stood on Broad Street my whole fucking life. Now, let's talk about the two biggest problems, in my opinion, the scheme, and we cannot forget about the execution. First, Kevin Patullo's offense. Look, man, somebody in my DM said there's no flow in this scheme. And that is exactly what we're seeing. Look, we're running plays in a vacuum, bro. There's no play action set up by the run. Where is the play action at? Where is the RPOs at? Where is the use of the middle of the field? Why is the run non-existent? This offensive line, the worst I've ever seen it. The worst I've ever seen it. Stoutland, what is going on? Look, man, we're seeing the same concepts over and over.
Was the offense too easy? Predictable? Speak your truth. Speak your truth. We gotta go before we get in trouble.
That's point blank what it is. The NFL has figured out what the Philadelphia Eagles have done, and we cannot change the scheme up. Nick Sirianni, man, he can back this guy all he wants. Go ahead, bro. That is your job on the line. But the results on the field, bro, are indefensible. They're indefensible. When your offense is so predictable that a young, very young Bears team, man, can dominate the trenches and force turnovers, the scheme is a problem. The scheme is flawed, man. Now, second, let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Look, man, you know I love Jalen Hurts. A complete supporter of Jalen Hurts. But we have to be honest and we have to hold him accountable. He had a terrible game. One of the worst games I've ever seen from my quarterback. Terrible. I mean, just truly awful. Awful, bruh. Look, the missed throws, the wide open receivers were baffling, confusing to me. The decision making was slow. You letting these guys, you know what I'm saying, all the hate. You making their point valid. After all of the arguing, fussing and complaining that the Philadelphia Eagle fans have done for you, and you know we still stand behind you. The decision making is too damn slow, especially in critical moments, man. That fumble on the tush push, we can't even run the tush push no more, bruh. We can't even run the tush push no more, man. That play is supposed to be automatic. It's supposed to be automatic. It's a gut punch, man, that flipped the entire momentum of the game, man. Look, Jalen Hurts looks frustrated. He looks disconnected, and his body language is not that of a franchise quarterback leading his team through adversity. Frustration is all I see. In my opinion, he needs to center himself. He needs to calm himself down in this storm. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be frustrated, because we can see that does not do great things for your play on the field, man. Look, and if you think this is just, you know, Philly fans being Philly fans, think again. Think again, because y'all got an issue with the Philly fans thinking, oh, well, I ain't see my team winning, blah, blah, blah. And y'all complaining. We don't care, man. We demand excellence. We know what team we have. This team needs to get back to the Super Bowl. But look, this is what the experts are saying.
Offensively, you got to find something else. You got to put your glasses on, Sirianni, and maybe get your wand out and find you a new offensive coordinator, because right now, Kevin Petullo does not have the answers. He's shown incompetency over the last couple of games. We got to change that, baby. You need a little Wingardium Leviosa.
They saying the same thing that the Philadelphia Eagle fans are saying.
Stop the car. Brooklyn. Do something to make me feel better.
There's something fundamentally flawed with this team. And you know it's a 5-alarm fire right now. It's a 5-alarm fire. It's time to panic. This just isn't a bad day or, you know, a bad football day. This is a systematic issue that has been brewing all year. We only had one game where this offense looked proficient. Look, man, we already know this team is talented, but the talent without execution, without a cohesive scheme, and without leadership is just potential wasted, in my opinion. Look, man, we have the players, we have the capability, we have the lack. We having some lack issues right now. What we lacking right now is the will to fight through adversity and the coaching to put them in the best position to succeed. These are the things that I'm seeing. This is a terrible display of football. I hate this for my city. I hate this for my team. Look, man, so what's the fix, right? Because I don't know if it is one, but if I had to make a guess, it's going to have to be accountability from every single man in that locker room, from Sirianni to Jalen Hurts. Look, man, we all need to look in the mirror, even the fans. Look, man, the standard is the standard. And right now, we are failing miserably at the standard. We need to see a change. We need to see some flow. We need to see some dominance. And we need to see it now, right now. Look, we got a long week until the next week. I'm not confident that this team can beat a Chargers team. I'm not confident in that. So, look, we're gonna be here all week, man. It's a long week. You already know how they're going to be here all week. But for now, man, this is all the time that we have for today's episode of the Diamond Crew Sports Podcast. Look, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Look, man, let me know what y'all frustrations are. Leave me a comment, man. Hit me up in the DMs. Let me know your thoughts. Fire Kevin Petullo. Is that the move? Do you agree? Because I do. Who is more to blame right now for this loss? Is it Patullo or is it Jalen Hurts? Look, man, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review if you can, man. Look, we'll be back sooner or later. Hopefully a win next week, or maybe we'll just probably have another emergency, podcast if this disaster continues. We don't know, man. But until then, man, I'm Hotta. This is the DCSP. Hotta out.
Yeah, I got them diamonds on me dancing, looking like they prancing. Always on my BI, we talking about expansion. Looking at a mansion, open up the benches, hanging off the blicket, empty out the sticky, shooting like I'm Jimmy. Chipwood, this good, sorry that I'm this hood.